quarterbacks had a wild last season full of historic moments, epic controversies, and unexpected developments, many of which will set the stage for a lot of expectations that may cause quite a few quarterbacks around the league to feel some pressure going into this upcoming season. But which ones will have the most pressure? That's a question I'm going to try to answer next. Let's go. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Sanctuary, a YouTube channel dedicated to all things sports. So if you're a sports fan, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you can get alerted every time a new post comes out. Now that we got all of that minutia out of the way, let's get into the video, because with the 2020 season now over, a lot of fans like myself have already begun to look forward to the 2021 season with high expectations, especially when it comes to some of the quarterbacks, since many teams across the league have been making several moves in the offseason with aspirations to become playoff contenders and Super Bowl champions. Aspirations that I believe will put a lot of quarterbacks under lots of pressure to meet high levels of expectations, whether it be to get a new contract or just to keep a job or just to simply prove that they can still play. So today, I wanted to talk to you guys about the top 5 quarterbacks who I think are under the most pressure going into the 2021 regular season. But before we get into my list, please keep in mind that this is my list and it's just my opinion. I'm totally cool with the idea that your list may be completely different from mine. In fact, I look forward to hearing about your list in the comment section down below. In addition to that, I also want to make it clear that I am well aware that there are more than 5 quarterbacks who are under tons of pressure to meet high expectations this year. But in the spirit of saving time, I didn't want to make an hour-long video talking about Daniel Jones, Ben Roethlisberger, Jared Goff, or Jimmy Garoppolo, or any of the several others that we could talk about. I just picked who I thought were the top 5 and decided to run with it. So with all those disclaimers out of the way, let's finally get into the list. Coming in at number 5 on the list, I have Cam Newton, which I feel is a no-brainer, just based on the circumstances surrounding his current situation. After his unceremonious exit from the Carolina Panthers and Tom Brady's exodus to Tampa Bay, Cam came into New England last year already under immense pressure to prove that he could still play while trying to live up to the expectations that were left behind by Tom Brady's looming shadow that still hangs over the franchise to this day and probably will until the end of time. And to me, that pressure has been magnified twice as much going into this upcoming season, because not only does Cam still have all of that pressure still hanging over his head, he also has to deal with the pressure of knowing that this could be his last time starting as a starter in the NFL if he doesn't get this team to the playoffs. Belichick just went out and overpaid for a bunch of free agents that Belichick believes will help Cam succeed, and that also puts more pressure on Cam to perform. So like I said, if he doesn't perform, this could be the last time he starts in the NFL as a quarterback. He's going to be a backup or he's going to have to retire. And that's why I put him here at number 5 on the list. Coming in at number 4 on the list, I have Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. It might sound odd to say that a quarterback who's won 98 games in 9 seasons, including a Super Bowl, is under some of the most pressure going into this next season. But that's the situation for me with Wilson, and it's a situation he's arguably put himself into. After throwing 28 touchdown passes with only 8 interceptions in the first 8 games of the 2020 season, Wilson was only able to muster 12 touchdown passes in the later 8 weeks as his performance fell off the side of a cliff. Then on top of that, he publicly called out his organization, saying that he needs help and that he needs a better offensive line because he's tired of taking a beating and getting sacked more than 400 times over his career. And while I think he definitely has a point, if the team does get him some help, which it looks like they've done, they went out and picked up a couple O-linemen, then I think he's going to be under tons of pressure to come out and deliver a high-level performance this year that allows the team to make a good run at the Super Bowl. Failure to do so could lead to another Deshaun Watson situation up in Seattle. And for that reason alone, I feel justified in putting Russell Wilson here at the number 4 spot. Dropping in at number 3 on this list today, I have Baker Mayfield of the Cleveland Browns. And just like the other 2 quarterbacks on this list, I think his placement here shouldn't even really be a debate. As a quarterback who has yet to show that he can fully live up to the expectations of being a former first-round pick, he has a lot on his shoulders going into this season. But to be fair, there's no disputing that in 2020, Baker Mayfield truly became the leader of the Browns and stepped his game up from the previous 2 seasons that he had recorded before Stefanski was hired. And now that he's in the 4th year of his deal, with the 5th year almost likely getting picked up anytime soon, Baker faces a lot more pressure to prove that he can perform as a long-term franchise quarterback who's worthy of a big-time contract, and he's going to have to do that with consistency. He's going to have to overcome all of this pressure to become more accurate so he stops missing so many easy throws, and he has to become more consistent week to week with his performances. If he can't do that, then I feel like Baker runs the risk of running into a situation where he may be cut or never re-signed after his extension ends, which may cause many people to label him as a first pick bust. And for those reasons, I feel like Baker Mayfield deserves this number 3 spot. Coming in at number 2, I have the one and only Dak Prescott, who just signed a historic contract with the Dallas Cowboys, which allowed him to receive the highest signing bonus of all time and the second biggest contract in NFL history for a quarterback. In all honesty, he should have been number 1 on this list of quarterbacks who face the most pressure. But I mean, and he should be number 1 just simply because of the Super Bowl expectations that came attached to this huge contract that he just signed. And not only that, as someone who has been doubted by his fan base and his organization for the last couple years, and as someone who's coming off a season where he just had a crazy injury and only got to play 5 games, I feel like he has a tremendous amount of pressure on him to prove that he was worth the contract and that Jerry Jones didn't overpay for his services like the owner said he did at the press conference after it was announced that Dak was signing the deal. I feel like Dak has a lot to prove. He has a lot to live up to. And while he may publicly make it sound like he's not really that worried, I think deep down he knows the amount of pressure that he's under, and we're going to see if he's going to fold. So for all those reasons, I put Dak here at number 2. And finally, at number 1, I have that bad man up in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. I put Aaron here at number 1 because everyone always talks about how Aaron Rodgers is arguably the greatest thrower of the football that we have ever seen. But for some reason, he's only been to 1 Super Bowl, and he hasn't been back in over a decade or close to a decade. But still, people keep saying this narrative. Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL that we've ever seen. And he's Not only that, he's fresh off a season in which he threw 48 touchdown passes and only 5 interceptions, and a season in which he earned the league MVP. But with Brady now in the NFC and having beaten the Packers on his way to winning a Super Bowl in his first season in the conference, I feel like this puts a crazy amount of pressure on Aaron's shoulders to get over the hump in 2021 to prove that Tom Brady isn't the only aging elder statesman in the NFL who can win Super Bowls later in their career. This year almost makes me feel like Aaron's reputation as an all-time great quarterback is on the line because of the pressure that comes with trying to fulfill super high expectations like this. I put Aaron Rodgers here in my top spot because he also put his organization under pressure, like Russell Wilson, talking about the lack of help and the whole thing with the quarterback that they drafted and him coming out playing lights out. And it's just, you can feel the tension between him and Green Bay. And I just feel like that just adds more pressure and more expectations to the whole situation. So that's why I put him here at number 1. But what do you guys think? Do you think I got the list right? Do you think I got it out of order? What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section down below, and let's talk about NFL quarterbacks. If you found any value in this video, please drop a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel because it helps out with the algorithm, and I would really appreciate it. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Can't wait to talk to you guys again some other time. Until then, peace out.